Hi, I'm Steve Cuevas of Shake True Hoops. This is Homework Hoops. Today, we're looking at shooting. Terribly fun to do and exciting, and certainly, if I want to be great at basketball, I'm going to excel at shooting. With us today is John Hood, who's going to give us some great tips on how to be a more efficient shooter in pressure situations. John?
Thanks, Shake. When we're talking about great shooting, an acronym to remember is BEEF. BEEF stands for balance, eyes, elbow, and follow through. If you can get these four things moving together and working well, you can become a great shooter.
Balance. Stability is essential in good shooting. We should begin with both feet solidly on the floor. As we execute our motion, our weight is transferred to the balls of our feet with our heels off the ground. Feet should be shoulder width apart, pointed at the basket, knees bent, hips down. Eyes. Our eyes should focus on the rim throughout our shooting motion. They should remain focused until the ball is in the basket or has hit the rim and glanced off. Elbow. Coaches talk about getting the letter C by forming a 90-degree angle. I recommend for beginners that the elbows start a few inches below the shoulder so that ball is at eye level but does not occlude vision. Follow through. This occurs at the end of the all-critical wrist snap. Wrist should execute a complete rotation with guide fingers, index, major, and thumb, pointed to the ground, ensuring maximum range of motion in our wrist flex. Correct and consistent follow-through is imperative to superior shooting.
Essential to great shooting is that we have balance. In this case, we're using hula hoops of various sizes. This one's pretty small, so Craig has to really concentrate and govern his balance in order to have optimum shooting efficiency. His feet will land at the same time, and he remains in the hula hoop after the execution of the shot. Because shooting is so vital to the game, we want to make sure that we have several examples of great shooting. Guelph legend and basketball great John Poposky is going to give us a few words on what good players should know.
Good players need to know that once you've mastered these fundamentals of shooting, the rest is all up here. Meaning that if you miss a shot, you can't worry about it. You got to be ready to step up and take that shot using the fundamentals that you've learned.
Thanks, John. The mental game is as important as the physical game. Regardless of outcome, as soon as you take your shot, you should be focusing on the next play. Always believe that the next shot you take is going in. My tip, know you're gonna shoot the ball before you catch it. We worry about improving and correcting our shooting technique in practice so that we're shooting through muscle memory in games. Remember, if you don't shoot it, it's not going in. Achieving and maintaining good physical shape is essential to superior basketball. Squats are an exercise you can do at home to help build muscle in your legs, help you jump higher, and most importantly, help you to be a lockdown defender.
So here we're doing a dynamic warm-up. The athletes are getting ready for their full workout. The importance of a dynamic warm-up is to slowly warm up the body. So here you're working on your footwork, holding your core tight, and just gently getting the body warmed up and ready for action.
Start with your feet shoulder width apart, toes pointed outward. Bend at the hips, sit back in the chair. Return to a standing position slowly, feeling the burn in your quads and hamstrings.
Ball handling being extremely essential to great success at high levels. This is one of our staple drills. I love to use tools because it makes things more exciting. In this situation, we're using two tools. We're using the chairs and we're using bottle caps. We'll get to the bottle caps in a second. Rip here is practicing all his moves that you would use in a basketball game. Crossovers through the legs, around the back, head and shoulders fake spin, and he's putting combinations together sometimes. Essential for superior basketball. If a defender's gonna take away one move, you need an immediate counter. That's why we check out combinations. High dribbles are great on offensive end, but in order to go from baseline to half court, I need a low dribble, I need my eyes up, and I need to pound the ball. I need finger pad control, and that's what brings us to the bottle caps. Bottle caps can really help our ball handling ability by forcing us to use finger pad control. So we want these things touching the ball. It really allows us to get where we want on the court a lot better than having the ball come into our whole palm. Obviously, we will not be using this type of stuff in games, but for practice, this is essential for high-level basketball. I want to be a successful basketball player on the offensive end. I really need how to deal with the ball and individual defense. Obviously, with superior defense, it's going to be tougher. So I want to check out a lot of the signals that the defense is giving me. Coaches are going to call that reading the defense. So here we have a great defender in front of me. He's stationary. This makes it a lot easier for me. He's got one hand down and one hand up. So I want to know the rules as a good player. I want to know the rules for this situation. Attack the lead foot, or go with, if the hand is high, I'm going to go by. And if the hand is low, I might want to think about letting the shot go. So if I go to my right and to this guy's left, I encounter a low hand. That allows me to release the ball and execute an open shot, or maybe a challenge shot, but not challenged at the release. On this side where the hand is high, usually defenders are going to have the hand that is high connected to the lead foot, and that lead foot is really at a disadvantage if I can attack it. So if I can step over that lead foot and beyond it, then I'm very likely to have success because that foot has to drop back. Those are some of the things that we can learn in homework hoops. And individual basketball and reading the defense obviously is going to be connected to moving without the ball and successful offense against superior team defense. So I want to think about how I'm going to use screens, how I'm going to cut off screens, not only using them, but setting them myself. And if I'm going to set screens, then that's an unselfish act that creates opportunities for not only myself, but my teammates. Always good in five-man basketball, because there's one ball and five guys. We have one of four options that we can execute if we want success using a screen. The first one usually always dependent on what the defense is doing. Again, reading the defense in a team situation as well as individually. The first one is curling. We're going to look at curling off the screen, and this always affords opportunities to get open shots if the defense is trailing. The next option is popping off the screen and using the screen correctly to place your teammate between this defender and yourself, creating separation, hopefully for a catch and then possibly a shot. The third one is going to be one where we really have to read what the defense is doing, and we're going to fade off of the screen. And that creates a whole other slew of opportunities. But mostly, it always comes down to three: shoot, dribble penetrate, or pass the ball. So those are things that we always think are going to be results off of the way we use screens. And the last one is the fourth, rejecting the screen. So I got a defender behind me, and my partner is going to be Curtis. I'm going to start in the post with the ball chinned, elbows out, and we're dealing with curling, and this is why we want to curl. This guy is actually going to play defense on me, and I'm going to read the defense. As I turn, pivot into the key, and bring the ball over my head, I then set up, feel him, and understand that he's following me around this screen. I might want to stop right here, hitch him up on my back, and then explode to the basket, hopefully protecting the ball so that I can finish at the rim. Really important in all of this and critical to my success. Once I get, can I have the passer back? Once I get here, I need to understand my advantage. So if this is a real defender, I want contact. Because if I don't get contact, this guy's gonna slide through, and now my progress towards the ball is impeded, and I'm not gonna be as successful. So, again, contact on the screen, and then explosion to the ball with a good protection, and I don't want to put it on the ground unless I have to. That's how we want to come off the curl. We're going to look at the next one, and that's the one where we're going to rub off or pop off the screen. James, slide up to set the screen. He's going to get a solid base on his screen so that I can use this, and I'm going to ask him possibly to take a step closer to me. Because if I'm anticipating this guy and reading him correctly, he's trailing me, and if James takes a step closer, when I change my angle and direction, I'm gonna have some open space here to step in to possibly a jump shot. And that's usually the result of a pop off the screen. Usually you're gonna be looking at a jump shot off of that, unless the guy's gonna close really hard, and then you might want to, again, read the defense. If the hand is high, let's blow by. This guy has decided he's tired of me burning him for jump shots consistently and layups, so he's playing on top of the screen. I read that situation, again place this guy between myself and the defense, and fade off of that in a position, again, to shoot the ball or attack the basket if he overplays. So that's called fading off the screen. Again, seriously important in understanding the fade off the screen is understanding what the defense is going to do. I might want to set him up on that, take 2 steps up, he follows up, then he's more likely to want to go over the screen, and I can fade into the corner, possibly shoot the ball, and have some success. Otherwise, I better have some rebounders to pick up my misses. So that's how we fade off the screen. That's option number 3. This guy's getting tired of getting burned, so we have to think about option number 4. He starts overplaying early to get in front of me. Now, he'd probably, most of the time, want to maintain his inside position. He starts overplaying early, and I just completely reject the position that I was going in, the direction I was going in, and we call that rejecting the screen for defense that is overplaying. All of this stuff you're going to encounter at superior levels of basketball, so it makes sense to prepare for that stuff, always thinking about contact, reading the defense, creating separation, and catching in a position to do something.
What we're gonna work on, okay, so I'm gonna have a basketball. I'm gonna toss the ball off the backboard, okay? The line at the elbow is gonna catch, okay? You're gonna catch, you're gonna inside pivot. So I'm gonna toss it off the backboard, gonna catch, you're gonna inside pivot. I want you to C-cut. So now, the importance of a C-cut. So let's have this line kind of give this some space. So I'll have you guys move over in the middle. Right there is perfect. Okay, so you're here on the sideline, you caught it. This is a C-cut. See how I'm kind of drawing a C? See how I'm doing this? This is a straight cut here, okay? And this is a C-cut. So you're here, you got a man on your hip, you're coming, you're catching, okay? What hand am I gonna dribble with? Left hand, right? If I dribble with my right hand, I just lost my defender, he can tap it from behind, ball's gone, okay? So I push out with my left hand, okay? Get up the court. What you're gonna do, you're gonna peel the sideline. But what's most important, where are you running? Where are you running when you run the side? Okay, you gotta run far. You gotta hug the sideline. Don't go out of bounds. Hug the sideline, head up. Okay, guys are gonna cut here to the basket. Guy with the ball, or girl with the ball. Come here, you're gonna 2-foot stop. So you cut into the basket, cut, bounce pass, layup. I'm gonna get the rebound. Okay, and what are you gonna, you're not gonna touch the basketball. You put it in, so you lay it in, you peel out wide, right? I'm head man, I see him, keep going. A head man up to him, hit him on the numbers, boom, and we keep going. Make sense? It's good? If I catch the ball in transition, you and me are gone, okay? I'm up the middle here, right? Spacing, because now, if you have an odd man break, so if it's a 2 against 1, you want to put that guy in the guy who's guarding you in the worst possible place, which is he has to decide who to play. And that's where you get layups, right? Basketball is also about whoever wins makes the least amount of mistakes. Would you say that, Shake? So, to avoid mistakes, do the right thing all the time. No, okay. So play as hard as you can, that's all I can say to that. But play smart, right? First of all, play harder than the guys or girls you're playing against, because everything just happens to work out. Like, the universe rewards people who do good. So play hard. A ball's gonna end up flying in your hand, and you're gonna shoot a ball, and it's gonna go in just because you're playing harder than the next person, right? So play smarter, play harder, okay? So those concepts we touched on, okay, are gonna help you guys when you guys are playing 5-on-0, okay? 5-on-5, 3-on-2, 3-on-3, any sort of situation where you're in a transition set, just make sure to keep your head up, push the basketball, head man the basketball. Whoever's in front of you in a transition, give him the ball. Give him the ball. Don't hold on to it because you're killing the set. Basketball is an up and down game, so you don't want to take the air out of the basketball by just holding it. Someone's ahead of you, give him the ball. It's head man the ball.
Basketball players are going to get injured. It's important that we have a rudimentary knowledge of injury prevention and rehabilitation. Let's send it over to Dr. Jeff, who's going to give us some helpful tips and maybe even some information we didn't think about. Dr. Jeff?
Thanks, Shake. Kids, today I wanted to take a minute to talk about caring for the scrapes and cuts you're going to get inevitably when you're playing basketball. The first thing you need to remember is that if you injure yourself and you have a serious cut, you need to make sure to show your parents or your coach or a doctor, just to make sure it's not something more serious that needs to be cared for by a medical professional. But for those more minor scrapes and cuts, you can take care of those at home with some simple, easy steps. First thing to do is to clean the area thoroughly. You can use soap and water and make sure you get any bits of dirt or foreign body out of there so that it's completely clean. You don't need to use hydrogen peroxide or any of those other things that really do sting and hurt. Once it's clean, you might find that the wound actually bleeds a little bit more, and that's okay. You want to use a clean compress. You want to put it directly on the wound and apply very hard pressure for about 20 minutes. The bleeding should stop easily after that. Once the bleeding stops, you can get some antibiotic ointment that you can pick up yourself or your parents can pick up over the counter. And you can apply a thin film to the area and then cover it with a clean bandage. You can change that bandage about once or twice a day for the next few days until the wound's healed. While the wound is healing, you need to watch for signs of infection. And it's very rare, but when it does happen, can cause serious problems. These signs include increasing redness in the area, swelling, warmth, or even some pus coming out of the area. If you see that, you need to show your parents right away, and you do need to go see a doctor because you might need some medication to help that heal up. Last thing, kids, is that once these areas are healing, it's going to form a scab, and there's a temptation to pick at it. I encourage you just to keep your hands off it and let it heal completely.
Ball for All is a basketball program opening new doors for youth participants. We provide access to basketball skills training, fitness education, and nutritional instruction through programs available to all youth who wish to participate. We instill values of social awareness, teamwork, and the importance of giving back. Located in Guelph, Ontario, Canada, Ball for All draws on great basketball instructors, dedicated volunteers, and conscientious sponsors to make a difference in the lives of its participants.
I have some kids that have managed to make themselves good enough so that they can qualify to attend private schools.
David, at 12 years old, was offered a scholarship to private school based on his basketball.
On the horizon, those kids are going to learn a whole bunch of things that have nothing to do with basketball. But through basketball as the vehicle, they've allowed themselves to have greater opportunities for life success.
It's taught me to be more responsible. The drills you do, he tells you to do them at home, so you take responsibility to get yourself better.
Youth are 20% of our population, 100% of our future. They are our leaders.
Core values for basketball and Ball for All: self-improvement, self-discipline, learning how to improve and the mechanisms involved, and truly for myself, understanding the value of the information that you're receiving in order to allow yourself the biggest chance to maximize your potential. And then these guys will bring you over and you'll be able to see yourself on film if you want. And if you don't want, then you just don't do it. Okay? All right. I think this is good. All right, let's go. Come get the handoff. And dribble in. Excellent. Okay, pass the ball, come get the handoff. Beautiful. 2. Okay, I'm gonna do when you get the handoff, you need to dribble with your right hand because you're going to your right. Okay, you did a great job. Ball. Number 1, go back door. Exactly. Beautiful cut. Beautiful. What do you want? Left hand dribbles here. Excellent job, Ella. That's fantastic. What do you want? Number 2. 2. Excellent. Nice job. Okay. Fake the handoff, keep going. Special, let's go. Fake the handoff, keep going to the basket. There it is. That's tremendous. That's tremendous. Come in here. I need 2 high fives, okay? Same time. One more time. Excellent. Go. Nice job. We'll see you guys later. You did fantastic stuff. Homework hoops. Shake your hoops. Kids having fun.
Hi, I'm Scott Jaspers-Fair. I'm originally from Guelph, Ontario. I played for 5 years at Cape Breton University, where I was 4-year captain, AUS champion, and national semifinalist. I went to Shake True Hoops ever since I was 12 years old, and I totally owe him my basketball career. Now, when I tell people this, they think, oh, he's a great basketball coach. That's why my career was so great. But it's all the things that he taught me off the court and in my mindset that made me a successful basketball player. He taught me how to work hard, how to set goals, how to achieve them. Made me hungry and made me think the game rather than just my skill set. Shake did worlds for my skill, but it's for everything that he taught me off the court, which made me an academic All-Canadian, a captain, and a great citizen.
I was born